it's been so long since we've done this campaign that I had to go searching for the launch button on Roll20, and it told me that we've not played this since like the 20-odd of April.
What?
April.
That's not true.
Well, that's
No, we've
not
played it
right.
since then.
It
I mean,
said
this-
last played because we had Tabaxi one shot.
The Tabaxi 5 shot.
Which was like a month.
So that's over a month.
And that was prior. We started that July, I think. I don't know. It was weird. Like
We met up in July to finish the
yeah.
the.
Oh, so
thing,
it must
and then
have
we've
been
played since then.
July. Yeah, must
Yeah.
have been July.
Was it like?
It was weird.
Did it Americanize it and put like? Was it like the 3rd of July and put it as 0803?
Yeah, it probably
Or
was something
04,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Probably
But
not,
anyway, it felt like it. Like I was just like, well, it actually has been ages.
Mm.
So I have spoken to you all individually about what your characters' ambitions were in the 3 months since the end of the campaign. You remember we left it upon your return to Silvercrest, where you resurrected Warkek, who fell in the defense of Silvercrest, thanks to a divine intervention from Mystra. You'll remember that Jacob did a little bit of a job for Fisto that went wrong, as a load of paintings in storage started spawning the monsters depicted in them. And upon the resolution of that fight with your accomplice Halvard, you met Kalain, who you had previously sought out to try and commission the building of the new temple, which was also co-financed by Caduccio the Clean. This was all after Lucian Broadgrove got his head cut off and Smoke and Thunder in the Morning absconded. So a lot of shit happened that has set Silvercrest and the party on a different course. You finished that. That all happened in early autumn, probably late September, early October, the way it is now. And the intervening period of time, obviously, winter has set in well and truly. Silvercrest is in a temperate region of the Cerulean Isles, and this part of the isles is not known for its snow, but being exposed to the sea to the east, in the winter, the temperature in Silvercrest drops quite rapidly. Much of the crystal walls are covered in a sheet of ice. Snow is regular. But there are still like faint remnants of the late summer, early autumn activities in Silvercrest. So you've still got like shoots of purple poking through here and there, purple leaves that have died out weeks ago. And the sea has kind of pushed back against the temporary arcane influence, and there's still a glistening purple, like crystallite quality to the sand, very close to the shore. But for all intents and purposes, it's not giving off that same glow that it was. In fact, the only place that does contain a strong purple glow is the new Temple of Mystra, which is named the Our Lady, the Temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, which you might want to make a note of.
Very cool.
We'll start with what Mir has been up to over the past 3 months. And she will have commended the new members of the Knights of Mystical Fire, whose ranks have been partially replenished in the intervening 3 months. Many new people have signed up, and indeed, adventurers and mercenaries have travelled to Silvercrest after their successful buffeting and repelling of this infernal incursion has spread word. The word has spread across the Isles. People have come out seeking the courageous Knoll Slayers, the Knights of Mystical Fire, and the party, and not least Mia herself, will have experienced no small degree of celebrity over the past 3 months, whether that's wanted or not. So, Mia, the people who would have assisted you in the building of this temple, Caducho, Kalain, and a large contingent of dwarfs from Hearthcast. Over those 3 months, you would have built up a strong working relationship with Halvard. Halvard, who is a particularly smart dwarf, as you know, who had a keen interest in magical items and arcane study. But putting his hands to the building and preservation of arcane items would have tempted and enticed him a lot more towards the Temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, than, for example, the Spire of Silver Candles, or even being an adventurer. So, if you like, you're second in command at the temple, while the KMF are the military wing of the temple. Halvard is your curator. Okay. He, after about 3 months, as a token of his appreciation, would have handed you a special ring. A ring constructed of a fragment of enchanted glass from the weird tank that exploded when the pressure of the crystal forced Polonius out. You'd not seen Polonius in that form since that night. But due to both of your appreciation of arcane enchantment, you know that the remnants of that weird tank still contained a piece of his essence. And as a thank you and a personal gift, the Mana Storm ring is something that he created for you, which I think you've already added to your inventory. Speaking of trinkets, just while we're all here, obviously if I'm talking to John and Smoke, you are all veterans of the White Stag Company, and you've been carrying a White Stag pin this whole time. You can add that to your inventory as a magic item now.
Okay.
White Stag pin.
I think my character's sheet is still 11. Is that right?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Did you play at 11 all the way through the Tabaxi adventure?
No, I
you
copied it
level?
and made 10.
Yeah, and you leveled up to 11.
I think so. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
Is that what everyone else is on?
No,
Okay, no worries.
it's only because Smoke took a long time out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you see the White Stag pin?
Yeah, I've got it. Very
Does someone
cool.
want to just post it just so I can check that it's... Oh, sorry, you have, sorry.
We all have now.
Yeah, cool.
It's a dictaphone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
It's got small memory card in it, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's useful.
Brilliant.
Yeah. What I was thinking like a hunter might record the call of its prey on it, and then repeat the call like a bird call to try and lure its
Attract the
prey in.
predator.
Yeah. So so it would have been used by rangers and forest keepers for that purpose. But you can use it obviously how you want. Now then, Mia. I'm not going to tell the party what the rest of this is for, but I want you to make some rolls for me.
Okay.
I'd like you to make perception, arcana, and investigation. I'm going to write them down. Oh, that investigation is bad.
Stuff.
Well, our notebook's disappeared. I was writing in it earlier. Give me a second. Apologies.
Oh, I can't hear.
Oh, can't hear anyone.
Can you
Oh,
hear
I
me
can hear you
now?
now.
I think no one's literally talking.
Yeah, we were all being very silent.
Just
Maybe Dan was
given those
muted.
roles, given those roles, Kirsty, can you make me an insight check as well?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else? If you want to is there anything else that you would like to accomplish in the 3 months since the warehouse and the commencement of the building of the church or the Temple of Our Lady?
No, I
Stars.
told you everything that I wanted.
Yeah, I've said everything I can reveal, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. What about the casting of word recall and stuff like that? Is all fine?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. That's fine. So that you would probably tell the rest of the party about this spell, I guess. Yeah, if you ever find yourself very far away and in trouble, Mia can cast a spell to bring you all back to the temple.
That's cool. I know that spell.
Yeah.
I was looking at it today when I was looking at this level 21 shot.
That is pretty amazing. No matter the distance.
Don't think so. I think even if you're on a different plane.
Wow.
Do you want to just
It's
paste word of recall and we can just be sure how it works?
You're in a fight, you're all about to die, and she just pulls us all back to the temple. It's
Yeah, give me a second. I don't have it on my character sheet right now, but I'll get it up on D&D Beyond.
I can do it if you want.
That is insane.
yeah.
No more we have to be worried about anything. Well, except for when
everything's
me
going to be
now.
just
Goes
fine.
No stepping away from things and triggering
someone's
opportunity
ready.
attacks.
I've done it. So you and any creatures that you designate, five willing creatures, will teleport with you to the nearest unoccupied space to the spot that you designated when you prepared your sanctuary, which is the Temple of Our Lady Weaver of Stars. If you cast a spell without first preparing sanctuary, spell's no effect, but obviously you've prepared it. You designate a sanctuary by casting a spell in that location, such as a temple strongly linked to your deity. So this is exactly what you use it for.
So we need to be all basically touching you around you for it to work.
We need to all
but
be in
within
the group.
5 feet.
Yeah.
Would you all consent to? I mean, no. Actually, it doesn't. You don't need the consent of this page. She's just designated it, and your consent is required at the time. So you're all not linked. It's only Mistra that's linked. Yeah, only me that's linked to Mistra. Yeah, 6th level spells. We're in fucking the business end, aren't we? How am I going to cope with this?
We just start level 1.
Basically, Kirsty now has a nope out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a note button.
That is
Or,
brilliant.
and a fuck up the adventure button when you go back to Silvercrest. It's all good. I'm excited. I'm going to go to Smoke now. No, in fact, I'm going to go to Red because Red is someone who you are choosing to divert from. Is that correct, John?
At this stage, yes, indeed.
Yes.
She made her way elsewhere, back to Crystal Spear, I think.
Yes. So she set off to return to Crystal Spear to kind of deal with some unfinished business. Although she would tell CGS, I believe, that she is intensely dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of soul coins and believes that should she, in her studies, unlock the answer to the mysteries presented by the soul coins, that she may be able to go and face the curator, having travel the river Styx in order to release people who are trapped in them. That's her ambition. How capable it's going to take, how capable she'll be, it's going to take months of study, she thinks, and that's why she's returning to her temple in Crystal Spear. So we'll go to Smoke. Smoke, you'll remember that when we left Smoke and Thunder, Smoke took the head of Lucian Broadgrove. Do you remember what Thunder had?
Oh God! Now you're taking me back a while.
It's okay if you don't.
I remember him about being able to disguise himself, but beyond that, I'm struggling to remember.
Okay. So, given Smoke's what we know about Smoke's exploits with the clans, Smoke was very clear that the killing of Lucian Broadgrove represents a turning point in the future of the Tabaxi, and a chance to extend a hand or a claw towards the new Cerulean Isles and face the clan or the clans outwardly, to have them to integrate and to learn and to protect the Isles from a broader, more entrenched base rather than a nomadic, inward-looking tribal society. With that in mind, Thunder in the Morning, who you see now as just as dedicated and zealous a Tabaxi warrior as you, he proposes to take the Trailing Coasts clan to their first semi-permanent home. Whereas the Distant Rivers clan have Nimble Step on the edge of Timber Reach, on the edge of Snaketail Jungle, Thunder, along with Flickering Flame, Lone Snow, and his father, True Peak, proposed to set up a base of operations at the defunct site of Stormcradle.
Oh, okay.
So they'll never be too far from Silvercrest, and they'll always be able to keep an eye on the seas as the Trailing Coast clan This was a natural progression for them.
Mm.
And Thunder in the morning has taken responsibility to be custodian of Stormcradle, which is quite fitting.
Sweet.
He tells Smoke that he will train a new generation, or the next generation of Tabaxi warriors from the coast, and he will seek to reach out to migrants and travelers that would approach the Isles from the east, looking outwardly with accepting but still discerning eyes. Given that Smoke is not welcome in Castle Broadgrove, and knowing that Thunder has set up this base of operations, what would Smoke then do with the head of Lucian Broadgrove?
He goes on.
Put it on his bike.
He goes back to the Distant Rivers clan territories, pretty much immediately after just getting back, and he takes it to the center of the territory there. He would take it to Tiger's Watch, and I'd probably sort of have built somewhere in secret. It will only be known to like the upper echelons of Tabaxi tribes. The intention is not to let any of the other races in Cerulea know that he even has it where possible. And he will take it to the peak of Tiger's Watch perhaps, or nearby, and have somewhere built or created or consecrated to keep it there. And that is to serve as a reminder that the other races of the Cerulean Isles have made a sacrifice, even if it was done somewhat forcefully, and so that they have to respect that there is a push and pull on both sides to hopefully land somewhere where there'll be integration. Somewhere that Tabaxi can go and remind themselves that it's not just about bowing down to the other races of the Cerulean Isles, but there was a give and take involved.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. Yes. Okay. I think, given what we know about Tiger's Watch and the Hallowed Ghats, which is the kind of area where that temple and the monks there preside. Remember, the monks are called the Varanashi. And as the last Gatavan, i.e. elected speaker, you would have the power to compel them to act as you instructed. And that could be to keep your secret, or store the head of Lucian Broadgrove, and kind of educate people about the sacrifices that other races and tribes of people have made, like you suggested.
I wonder if it could be in the future something that when there are further up and coming leaders of their own clans in the Tabaxi, that they may go through some sort of test or pilgrimage to have that revealed to them.
Yeah, certainly, like a labor of the Gatavan. There you go, just made it up. Sounds great. Oh, sorry, Lucas. I think you're muted there.
No, I was just making a joke about the Labour Party. It wasn't funny. Never mind.
Yeah, thanks. Just be aware, though, that the clan structure that exists as it does, at the next clan meeting, if there is another Gatavan elected, they're elected by the tribes and they gain access to all the knowledge that you would have had. But yeah, maybe when there's a new clan leader established in a particular clan, then there would be a pilgrimage for that.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's weird because everything is so verbal. Like you can't really deny access. I think it's a interesting education system for Tabaxi clans.
Mhm.
All right. So I guess given all of that and that the amount of distance, the amount of people he'd have to speak to, and all of that, it might take him the 3 months just to get there and get back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he could pick up on Smoke's return.
Yeah.
Okay. I will deal with Jacob. No, I'll deal with Gallin next. Gallin. I know a lot about like your long-term ambitions, and it seemed as though they changed a lot when the incursion of Calixeros and the Infernal Armies was over. It was a opportunity for Gallin to turn over a new leaf and invest himself in the reparations and support that would be required of him in Silvercrest. Let me just... I've got so many notes in so many different places. Bear with me 1 second.
Was that a Spider-Man?
I just hum to myself absentmindedly. My students notice it all the time. Like, what are you singing? I'm like, I don't even know.
Sounded like a Spider-Man theme.
I mean, why not? Okay. Gallin would turn his attention to the reparations and the support of people who needed it. The city was at the end of the incursion faltering and on the verge of ruins. He would make semi-regular trips to the Spire of Silver Candles, given that he is now one of the more experienced mages in the city. And together with his friend Dr. Lonespell, they would just turn their hands to making sure the city gets back on its feet. Your gnome friend Fisto would also drop in on you from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make you make a series of rolls.
Sure. I think there was something that I wanted to maybe add, especially with Fisto specifically.
Okay.
I'm thinking Gallen's quite interested in what's become of the criminal underground of Silvercrest after the what they called again?
Zentarim.
Zentarim has left. Yeah, it's just this sort of void seems like something that something very bad could get in there, or maybe just understanding that there's always going to be that criminal underground no matter what, right? You can't just weed it out. Maybe he would propose to Fisto that using some of his abilities, if Fisto has that ambition, right? That's pretty much a question to him. That maybe they would try to maybe just rebuild it a little bit in a way that would be controlled, so like some rules about this, no open violence on the street, no killing of innocents. Maybe just something like this would be sort of, it wouldn't be a Gallen's thing, it would be his thing. I'm just like trying to see if he'd be interested and then just help him out a bit with that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to make some rolls.
Sure.
I want you to make charisma, straight charisma, then persuasion, deception and investigation.
Okay. Charisma. Then persuasion.
I've got charisma.
Right. Sorry. The clicking not working. What was that? The deception? Did you say?
Deception.
Why would you be deceiving us?
And what was the last thing?
Investigation.
Oh, shit. That was almost good.
Cool. I asked you to roll lots of things because you don't know what I'm paying attention to and what they're for.
Sure. Yeah.
We can still roll.
I'm down with that.
Cool. So, yeah, I think
There was this
given-
ritual thing. I don't know if you want to do it now or later.
Oh, we will pick up there soon because I guess you would know from working with Dr. Learnspell, between him and Fisto, he has been absorbed in his studies as well. So
Yeah,
still
it takes time.
helping people as much as he can, but as the war is over, a lot of those needs are not as pressing. You would find out that Victoria, the owner of the Three Doves, the lady who you met when you first rode Silvercrest, unfortunately died in the settlement wars.
All right.
And sorry,
The settlement.
so not the
What?
settlement wars, the invasion. And given Lone Spell's service to the city, he inherits the Three Doves at the behest of the new chairman, Castor Zajet.
Very nice.
That's the one.
Yes, Castor is elected.
Let's
Not
try to spend
necess-
a lot of time with him as well. Just
It's not necessarily that he's elected for his own popularity, but it's his proximity to his sister and his sister's reluctance to lead that actually people then just started voting for Castor by proximity. And given Castor's previous sacrifices, the hands of, getting killed by terrorists, he knows he naturally plays well to the populist crowd, and he casts a compelling, reluctant leader. And Smoke sends you a message magically at the behest, with the assistance of his new assistant. His head administrator is a female with white hair. Not seen her before. She's maybe in her late 40s. Can't tell if she's human or half-elf. But after he's elected, Castor chooses her to be the head magister type administrator. Bear with me 1 second. More notes elsewhere. This is what happens when it's like 3 months since you played last. Everything's just written down. Yes. I don't want this to be too foreboding, but Castor's assistant is called. Type it. So you've got it. Oh. Dartharis.
Hello.
And it's Dartharis who communicates with you, Smoke, and requests an audience with the head of the Tabaxi clans, and summons you back to Silvercrest at your earliest convenience.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Jacob,
Hello.
hello.
A little list.
Yes, you also had a list. As a hero of Silvercrest, your work did not stop once the battle was over, and you did your best to help the docks get back on their feet, to re-establish supply chains and trade routes across the city. Just use your kind of survival nous to prioritize and instruct and help people through these difficult times. And the dwarves of Halfcast were extremely grateful to you, and they took the scales that you recovered from Ainelian from you and forged them into a bespoke set of armor. Let me just make sure, because this is an official item, this isn't homebrew. I just need to make sure that I'm going to the right thing. Yes. You may add a suit of serpent scale armor to your
Oh wow. Thank you.
yeah, it's particularly OP. You're welcome.
Yes, it is.
You don't get disadvantage on stealth checks, and there's no upper limit to the dex modifier that you get as a bonus to your AC.
And it's medium armor.
Yep.
That is amazing.
You have like 30 AC right now.
No, but I do have 21 AC as a rogue.
You know how to make him happy.
Yes. Well, I will say that this serpent scale armor, even though it's been forged from a Yuan-Ti abomination, it is gilded in gold, and it is particularly regal looking. It is a set of armor that your father would have been proud of.
Yeah.
You also, I will say that I'll bring everybody in at this point. One of Caster's initial acts as chairman is to pass the Arcane Preservation Act, or the APA. And this is Caster, not me. Just saying. Caster passes the Arcane Preservation Act, compelling unused magic items not to languish in vaults underground or in chests locked away, but to be presided over by Mia and her Knights of Mystical Fire. And it is at that point, Jacob, that you donate the Pariah Shield to the temple. And just mechanically, guys, if there is a magic item that you've not attuned to, used, or bothered to do anything with, and you feel that would come under the jurisdiction of the Arcane Preservation Act, then you may donate it to the Temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars. Just to say, mechanically speaking, the more magic items present in the Temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, the more powerful, influential, and resourceful the Knights of Mystical Fire will be. So there will be benefits to giving them up. I just won't say what they are at the moment.
Do you want me to look after the list?
Yeah, sure. So you've got one Pariah Shield.
I have 2 more items to give to the temple as well.
I have a few as well.
my Templars, I suppose.
give me.
I am going to give the braces of archery.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Cool.
Yep. And I'm also going to give the frozen dagger.
Ooh. Any more?
I think. Oh, I've got my old armor, studied armor +1.
I think the dwarves would take that off you in
Oh,
exchange
yeah.
for.
I wasn't sure, but yeah, that's gone there.
hmm
Everything else, I think I use.
Okay.
There's a few from me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, again, like in game, this might be when smoke returns or whatever. But just since you're doing it now, the mirror light shield. For potentially a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
One is that, and we didn't discuss whether this affected smoke, but some of the previous users of mirror light objects were getting some adverse effects with rashes and stuff.
hmm
That being the case would be part of the reason, but more than that, just because it's not within smoke's purview to look after all those mirror light stuff and the study of them.
hmm
So the mirror light shield, the Corpse Slayer longsword.
Cool.
Now, a couple of these I'm definitely not using, but I imagine if we had specific use for some of them, we could pull them out.
Don't feel compelled to get rid of everything you don't currently have attuned or equipped.
Haven't
You
used
can
these
keep
in
all the things.
ages, but it's only thought if there was a specific mission or a specific situation where we thought we better go and grab that item, I'm guessing we can still. There's Mir's stuff, right? So we can still use it. Yeah, okay. So
You can get it out of stock if you really need it.
Yeah. So there's the Ring of Mind shielding. I'm going to take this off as I go. Corpse Slayer.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah, one of you's got it,
Yeah.
and the other one's not taking it out of their inventory. I don't know which is which.
That's fine. I was
Oh
going to give
yeah,
it
that
anyway.
actually I
so
think was
we'll
already given
remove
to you.
it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll remove that now. And the Rope of Mending.
You could create like a container in your D&D Beyond and call it the Temple
Ooh.
Archives and stick stuff in it.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool. Rope of Mending.
The Storm Boomerang, which I never got a proper
What?
use of because it needs to be
Jesus
charged
Christ.
with an elemental air node.
The stuff
So it
that
never
we
really came
collect.
out, but there's a Storm Boomerang, so make sure you get that as well.
Mhm.
I'm removing that. And I think that's... Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that 5 items? How many did John give Kirsty?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then...
What's happened to the necklace?
Oh, yeah, so... I don't know, like, canonically what's ended up happening, but the last thing we did with it was Lone Snow was using it. And she would currently be in Storm Cradle.
That's where it is.
Okay.
Cool.
And then just from we've still got the lightning orbs. We'll keep those on us because they're always good. Let's see, I've got the code. Oh yeah, and then so I previously had a +1 shield. I don't know whether I can revert to that, or otherwise I would just acquire a normal shield if that's okay.
If you had a +1 shield, is that one you traded in?
I can't remember specifically, but I think we probably traded it in at Hearthstone.
Okay. Yeah, you can take the +1 shield back. That's all right.
Okay. Cheers. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Bear with me.
I've got a few bits as well.
Okay. Just tell us what you're getting rid of.
I did. The Crimsonite stone that I've had in ages. And I've been too scared to touch. The Beryllium detector.
Mm-hmm.
For now. The Shark Razor mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else? Oh, the Trident of Fish command.
Mm-hmm.
I have said so attached to that. Because I remember someone referring to it as like it's for shepherds when we went
Yeah.
through the water plane.
Come on, sharks. This way.
This way.
So how many items is that in total?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
No,
Am
no,
I getting
sorry.
anything from
That
Gallon?
you have donated. That you.
Oh, 4
Yeah.
from Mia.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, can I
Galen?
add another one quickly? Sorry. The Helm of Underwater Action.
Mm.
If we need to go underwater, we can always get it out again. So, but yeah, that was
Not a
something that
lending
you lent me
library,
while we were
remember that.
underwater.
So you're giving the Helm of Underwater Action up as well, Jacket?
Yep.
All right. What's Galen giving up?
So I've got two things, but I've already sort of thought that I'm gonna have to sell one of those things because I don't know if you guys remember, but at the end of last session, just basically I'm penniless. I gave money back to casters.
Don't worry about that. With the Arcane Preservation Act as well, traders and merchants are not buying magic items; they're being donated.
And I couldn't say this was done before it came
No.
out, because that was my intention straight away. Like the first thing I would have done.
You didn't tell me that prior to this session. So
Oh, okay. I mean, it is in that document that I wrote, and that it specifically says I would sell it because I've got no money to live. So that would be the first thing that I would have done.
sorry, what's the rarity?
It's a wondrous rare or very rare. 1 second.
We wouldn't let Gallon starve.
No, he's a
Yeah,
hero of
it's
Silvercrest. You're not going to live hand to mouth.
It's a rare item, yeah.
Okay. Roll me a d4 then, Galen.
Right.
Oh dear.
Oh
You
dear.
only get 1,000 gold pieces for it.
Okay, I'll take that. And I could have gone up to 4,000. That's sad.
Mhm.
That's what you get. Okay, I definitely gonna use some of that money with Fisto and stuff. The thing that I've got is a Kraken whip.
Mhm.
I have never used this. I'm not sure why this is with me.
It was flavor.
Right.
Panaku
Yeah.
Warlock flavor. You took
That's
it.
right.
Straight away.
Never ever used it. So you can have that. And I think there might be something else. I just gotta think about it because I just found out from Dan what it is.
After having it for how long? I'll tell you. About a year.
Yeah, but like there was a limitation, right? I needed
Yeah.
to be able to cast 5th level
Uh-huh.
spells, which
And when were you able to do that?
I think just before this whole shit hit the fan with Silvercrest
A
invasion.
long time ago. Trust me. A long time ago.
No, it wasn't that long.
It was. It
No.
was because I've been counting the sessions. Don't tell me how long it was. I have been
Yeah.
waiting for the question.
Yeah.
It's been fucking ages.
Yeah.
So how many items? Just one?
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. What is the party kitty at the minute? What money have you all got?
What money? Well, I just
Mhm.
got 1,000 gold.
Okay.
Well, minus whatever. Are you gonna ask us to spend some money during the downtime for like living? Or...
No.
Okay.
I'm just asking you how much money you've got.
I'm just updating Smokes now from since the previous
He was
arc.
handing it out left,
Yeah,
right, and
yeah.
centre.
He's about 400 down from what he was earlier. It's 239 gold.
239.
Yep.
1,000. Jacob?
Oh, there's a bit of platinum here as well.
My
14.
total currency is 439 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say though, if I'm donating the Pariah's shield, could I buy a simple shield?
Yes.
Just simple, yeah.
Just don't take it from your funds. Just take it.
Thank you.
And Mir, how much money?
About 1,100 gold. That's my
Okay.
gold and platinum together.
All right. So, as level 12 adventurers, all I can describe your kitty currently, the only word I can use to describe it at level 12 is
Pitiful.
pathetic. And thanks to the additional tourism granted by the Temple of Our Lady Weaver of Stars and the resplendent and varied magic items that have been donated by the noble and heroic adventurers, then the patrons and the donators and the benefactors of that museum get financial reparations from the local government, which means, Jacob,
Yeah.
you get 4,000 gold pieces. Smoke, you get 5,000 gold pieces. Mia, you get 4,000 gold pieces. And Gallin, you get another 1,000.
Cool.
You basically got 1,000 times the number of items you donated.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have
Even
done
if they
that.
weren't,
Yeah.
so even if they weren't worth that much, that's the game we play. So now you're all rich as fuck. And we'll take a break there.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. See you in
Great.
15 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. For she who'd led us towards the light, the Ballad of the White Stag. The chairwoman sat at her desk one day while the rain came down so hard. She made 5 white stags who brought the sunshine back, and she made them all town guards. She was crossed by a gnome who armed some bombs that would make the docks into a pond. But the stags were too wise for the tiny gnome, and they sent him back to Gond. So come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. Thought heard we not had stayed the night, the Ballad of the White Stag. Roused her men at the feasting hall, and she took the stags to the city wall. With a lightning strike and a nasty fall, the chairwoman saved us all. When the nightfall came and the chanting stopped, and I nearly spilt my drink, for in the dark with Mistress' aid, she turned the walls to pink. So come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. Thought heard we'd not had stayed the fight, the Battle of the White Stag. The chairwoman wields her family sword, and her brother wears a mask for the forgers' guilds and traders too. There's not too much to ask, so come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. You better tip your glass, 'cause she saved our ass, the Battle of the White Stag. So come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. You better tip your glass, 'cause she saved our ass, the Battle of the White Stag. Hey ho!
Yep. Oh, I think you muted that. No, I don't mind it for catching up and trying to... Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I haven't been feeling too amazing this past week, but I'm alright now. I tell you, I need... Yeah. But I'd say some antihistamines. My allergies were just going absolutely mental. Like my eyes are itching, I'm like sneezing, like it's just been so bad recently. I think it's dust in general. Like it's not just been happening this past week. It's happened a lot anyway. But just today I was just like, it's like I was hit with hay fever or something. Which is obviously it's not going to be hay fever, but. Oh jeez, yeah. Yeah, weird. Yeah. I've been watching been watching a lot of Matt Colville's videos recently. What a speaker as well. Like he's got such a great speaking voice and he's so like he doesn't miss a word, does he? Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's why I got into it. A couple of them popped up, and I've been going through some past ones as well. Yeah, it's cool because I was watching the ones on like political tension and stuff like that. Just today, yeah, which he says about 20 times. Yeah, and it made me think of like, God, I bet I'm sure there's all kinds of fantastical stuff in his campaigns, but it sounds like he could run a campaign that's just humans, and it would be just as compelling, I need to get it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, it interested me a lot today in what I was watching, and he was talking about like there's sometimes the assumption that there's peace going on in your campaign world, and it's like, why is there peace? Like it takes a lot for the peace to be maintained, and it's extremely complicated. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, like yeah. Who keeps the balance of like powerful nations not going at each other and stuff? Yeah, it's like inevitable to happen. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's depressing in real life, but it's interesting in game. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, as for
Yes.
flavour, you know the shield, can it have like Silvercrest logo on it?
It can be. You could have some of the leftover scales, so it matches your armor.
Cool.
And yeah, if you want it to have the emblem of Silvercrest on it, you can have that if you want.
Cool.
Sure.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
happy
look at
day.
him. Oh, I'm just gonna lay here. Oh.
I imagine that's his voice, actually.
Yeah. So are you now trying to eat everything in your fridge, Kirsty, until the fridge has died? But
Oh,
I eat
yes, I
everything.
am.
Yeah.
These are some dumplings that I bought from M&S.
Oh,
I
no.
fucking refuse to throw away. So
Yeah.
they're a second dinner.
Is the freezer still working, or are you going to have to eat all
Nope.
the ice cream?
Nope. I went to go and get some ice cubes to have
Oh,
a
no.
drink and was like, oh, Lex must have just filled the ice cube tray. And then I was like, interesting. She's filled the other ice cube tray. My ice cream's melted. Oh,
No.
everything's broken.
It must have
Oh,
been
what?
off for a while already if your ice cream's melted and everything in there's melted.
Well, we've
Yes.
not been in the freezer for a couple of days.
Oh, God.
I was up super early this morning, so I didn't notice whatever I pulled out of the fridge being cold or not. I just feel bad for Lex, who's now sorting it all out while I was like, I'm going to go and play games. Bye.
Oh no.
It's taking my dumplings.
All right. There is a couple of things that I would like to do RP wise now. If you feel ready to jump back in. Yeah. As Caster Zujet summons Smoking Mirror, he also summons the rest of you. And he, owing to Smoke's banned status from Castle Broadgrove, he offers to meet you in his old office in the Guild Hall. And it may be, let's just say, it may have been some time since you were all in the same room together, since you've all been doing your own thing. So a reacquaintance after maybe a few days, a few weeks, or in Smoke's case, a few months. You all get the specific time and date. Let's say it is a Sunday evening, about 7 p.m. It's a biting cold night in the depths of winter, the port city of Silvercrest. Around the guild hall, the streets are lined with salt to keep the trade carts moving across the normally icy roads. Window shutters are firmly battened down, and candlelight struggles against the prevailing winds that blow through the various streets around the coastal city. The guild hall is usually closed on this day and at this time. However, as each of you approach, you notice the door is being held open by a wedge, leaving a small crack. And the guild hall is dimly lit, dark, nearly dark, and otherwise empty. Who would be the first there? Who would be the most anxious to make this appointment?
I'd say possibly Jacob, because he'd be getting bored of being in the same city now. He wants to go out and explore a bit more. And he's thinking that Castor might have something for him to do that's different because he's bored.
He's bored. Okay.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean. He's
No. Okay,
in the
that's
same
fine.
city for 3 months. He wants something new.
Mm-hmm. So you arrive, Jacob. You're on your lonesome. Who would be the next to arrive?
Mia's pretty conscientious, so she'd arrive not because she was anxious to make it, but just anxious to
Mm-hmm.
be prompt
Yeah.
to where she said she would be.
And she probably, amongst everybody in the city of Silvercrest in this party, has kind of the most official rank. So yeah, probably sees it as more important if she's being summoned. So yeah, you would see the door open and see Jacob in his shiny new armor stood inside. It's been a while.
The mall looks fancy.
Well, you see, yeah, the dwarves did this for me. It's a bit shinier than I'm used to, but yeah. It's those scales. You remember that thing that we fought with Tisha's granddad? They made it for me
Dude.
out of them. I can't. It's amazing. I love it.
I'm sure you'll scuff it up soon enough.
I can try. I can try not to, but probably it's going to get dirty. There's no way it's saying shiny.
Mm-mm.
Then how are you? I haven't seen you in. I did pop to the temple a few. Is that weeks ago now? It's been a while.
Yeah,
The new building is
yeah.
awesome.
It's. I'm so pleased with it. I'm so pleased with what everybody achieved.
It's mad. And it could have all not been here had things gone different. But we won, and this city's here because of us.
With that,
Yeah.
I would say Gallin being the
Yeah.
closest.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna see Caster and been trying to keep in touch with them throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's gonna come in with a gift, right? Like a pretty expensive bottle of wine.
Or to share, like for everyone partaking.
Well, yeah, it's a present for the host, but like in
Okay.
in a
All right.
sense that he would partake. I think
Mhm.
he'd spend a few gold coins on that.
Yeah. The most expensive bottle of wine you can buy in Silvercrest is 25 gold pieces, but you can spend anything from 5 gold pieces for a good one, or up to 25. So you
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, I'll
decide.
get the 25 quid one. Quid.
Oh, okay. 25 quid.
It's like Australian maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, hiya. Been a while. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You look good.
how are you?
Yeah. I'm pretty great. It's really nice not to be under constant threat of, invasion and death. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'd be able to
Thanks.
have to not put your armor on for a day.
But I mean, it's a nice segue there, Jacob.
all
Very
well.
nice armor.
I didn't mean that, but yeah, not put your armor on, not wear a sword, and just be able to like wander around the streets and people living were not in fear.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the city's breathing again. Like you can almost sense it. It's getting there. Nice temple, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciated your donation.
Oh yeah. Wish there was more I had, but we're bound to find more things, so I bet it will just grow,
That's the hope. Yeah. I want people to come far and wide to see
We
what
have
we
a
have.
whole island to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even picked up on it for a while, but it was nice. The break was necessary.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What have you
What have you been doing with yourself? Obviously, May's been building a temple. I've been working down at the docks. What have you been up to?
Oh, just sort of helping the city. I've been spending a lot of time with Dr. Lonespell, and I mean, he owns the inn now. Did you know? The city gave him the inn. That's pretty
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
What's he going to do with it?
I don't know. I mean,
Dan, is it still sort of like a hospital, or he turned it back into an inn in this time? I'm not sure.
He's turned it into a like a doctor's surgery. So he still has patients, but he also got time to do medical research.
So it's not an inn at all anymore.
No, you can't stay there at the Three Doves
Right.
anymore.
yeah, he had to remove all the alcohol because it was just kind of counterintuitive to healing people and then selling them alcohol, which is in moderation is great. Like this bottle of wine I got for you, for all of us really to enjoy.
You would
You got
know.
that from the inn?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I missed that, Kirsty. You.
I should just ask whether you got that from the inn.
No. Like I said, not selling alcohol there anymore. No, just a vendor in the city.
You would know that Dr. Lunspell changed the name as the Three Doves to the Black Raven.
Well, I hate that.
I love it. And by the way, there's as Galen walked in, there is a black raven on his arm, just curiously looking around.
Amorous?
Yeah. Emma. As
Oh
well.
yeah. He kind of prefers this now. Just faster and less noticeable than the pseudo dragon. I was getting all sorts of attention, and don't get me wrong, it's great. But we couldn't go anywhere with our kids swarming us and wanting to play with it, and so he just felt this is better.
Yeah, birds blend in a bit better.
Yeah, I think so.
And with that, Amorous just tilts his head. You're there for a while and you become conscious of time. Cast as a Jet is the next to turn up. He pushes the door and removes a grey woolen hood, revealing his dark hair slicked back. He still has the scar across his head where he took the rifle shot on your first night at Silvercrest. He looks purposeful, but he's careful to open the door for Dartharus, his tall, white-haired assistant. Good evening, courageous Null Slayers.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining me, and I know it's most unusual to come to the guild hall at this hour, but my meeting requires a degree of privacy. Has your Tabaxi companion made his way into the city? Have you seen him?
I haven't seen Smoke for a long time, but I would expect him to arrive.
Hmm.
I haven't seen him.
Can I assume that I would have sent him the odd message?
Sure. You know what he's been up to, so...
Yeah. But I maybe don't know where he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been okay, but I haven't seen him.
He's
It's
busy.
been a long time since that fateful night in Broadgrove Castle. Smoke, how would you enter?
I was going to actually ask, this is purely for flavour. I'm not asking you to worry about any mechanics, but would it be appropriate for me to have a retainer?
Like a
like a young tabaxi that's maybe come to Silvercrest to like, integrate and everything like that.
Yeah. If you're going to have a retainer, then I'm going to name them.
Okay.
Is that okay?
yeah, of course. Yeah. I just thought of it now. So.
Okay. Well, your tabaxi retainer is called Sunshine at Night.
Okay, cool.
And you can just call him Sunshine.
Awesome.
I think he would have. I think he actually would have been there in reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
He would have maybe just.
So he can step out from the shadows if he.
Yeah, I think he would have like waited for everyone to come in and just kind of with a wry smile have just watched all of his friends that he hasn't seen in some months, like in their new look and everything like that, have walked into Caster's office. Sunshine will wait outside. He's got my magic items and stuff for Mir, the stuff that I gave to Mir. And at this point, I imagine Smoke could also have like big furs on and stuff. With a certain degree of regalia about it, but nothing too ostentatious.
A king in the north.
Would walk in after everyone's been talking for a minute. Well, what's this ragtag group of adventurers doing here?
Oak.
No.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Saw you from a mile away, Jacob.
Yeah, I need to find a way to make this less shiny.
You're going to need some cloaks and maybe dirty that up a little bit.
Yeah, I've still got my cloak of many colours. That like that cloak. I'll have to wrap it around myself. But yeah, how have you been? You've been off. I just haven't seen you in ages. You keep running off.
It's been eventful, but coming back now, it strangely feels like returning home.
I missed you. I missed sparring with you.
I missed all of you too. We'll catch up soon. Caster, I'll extend a hand to shake Caster's hand.
He doesn't automatically extend his hand, but he strides up to you, and he looks at. Is Sunshine still outside?
He wouldn't have come in. No, he'd be outside.
Oh, all right. Okay. He looks out of the open door. Do you mind if we have some privacy, Smoking Mirror?
The four of you?
No. I'm merely mean to secure the guild hall, and your young companion seems to be loitering within earshot.
Of course. I'll go to like the door and ask him to work a few blocks down or whatever.
At the tavern?
Yes. Don't go getting yourself into any trouble. These items are very important.
Oh, it sounded really good in the sleepy cello. I'll be there.
All right.
Good luck. And with that, Caster shuts the door and locks it with a wrought iron key. And as the guild master, he puts the key around his neck and tucks it into his shirt. Well, I extend my thanks once again for meeting at this hour. Dartharis and I have numerous plans to put in place, and ones which we've already started to put in place. And I have concern to discuss with each of you. Smoking Mirror, given that you have probably travelled the furthest, we'll start with your business. Last time you were in Silvercrest, a heinous crime was committed. However, keeping that crime from the ears of the public and continuing our recovery from the infernal incursion seems to have benefited both you and I. Would you agree?
I would agree.
I am not my grandfather, and I'm certainly not Lucian Broadgrove. I dare say I'm not even my sister. However, it was my image that your clan cousin used in order to gain access to Castle Broadgrove, to carry out the act which has led us both here today. And I take personal offence at that. It was embarrassing. And I gathered after that night that he must have gained access to my office here in the Guild Hall in order to carry out his infiltration. For the keys to the castle, or at least my set, and another particular item were missing from my desk. Thunder in the Morning, though he may not know it, currently holds on to an item as important to Silvercrest's safety as Mistress Crystal. And the past 3 months has led me to that conclusion. My investigation has concluded that he must have it. However, I wish not to inflame tensions with the Tabaxi even further and set us both back many years. So I have a request. Retrieve it from him and return it to me, if you wish to keep the peace.
I respect your wishes, and I agree with you. Thunder has a great degree of foresight. Perhaps he was ahead of us all on that day. But he does not know everything, and perhaps he does not know what he carries. You tell me more about the item. What is it we need to retrieve?
The item is a silver orb depicting 3 ancient threats, draconic in nature. It's extremely powerful. And I dare say the past 3 months have passed without incident due to pure luck. The longer that item stays out of Silvercrest, the further our lucky streak needs to extend.
I understand. Though you might not believe it, Thunder takes his debt owed to Silvercrest seriously. But you have my word that I will make sure he stays true to it. We'll try to retrieve the item as soon as possible.
We appreciate the reinforcements that the clans have given us, and the bastion at Stormcradle has benefited both sides. And he's willing to, and he's more than entitled to remain there. I look forward to a new age of cooperation and diplomacy once this act has been fulfilled.
That is my intention too.
He then turns towards Mia. Mia, your cooperation with the rebuilding of Silvercrest has been much more visible to the public. Indeed, you've become quite the local celebrity. My sister asks often about you. and has struggled with the things she saw over the course of the nights and days of the siege. Strange dreams, visions of gods, purple lightning from the sky. Her conversion to the temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, has been almost under duress. She's burdened by these visions and haunted by the scar that she bears on her chest. She says that there are others who bear these scars.
Yes, I think so. I know there are.
How many?
I believe 7.
And he nods to Dartharis. Take down their names for me, will you?
Why do you need to know?
Well, I'm the chairman of Silvercrest. It is my knowledge to know who occupies my city.
Is it your right to know their personal business?
What need have you to protect their identities from me? We're on the same side, are we not?
Yes. Oh, yes. It's been a matter of interest to me too. I don't want any harm to come to these people.
Dartharis, you can show her the proposal if you wish. Yes, my lord. And she pulls out a binder. And on the front of the binder, embossed, it says, Council of the Seven. It's clear to me
Oh, I see.
That if we are to resist any further war or sieges at the hand of extraplanar threats or historical opposition, then we may have need to call upon Mistress Chosen in future. And ways of the arcane and God-fearing interventions are not my area of expertise. My sister remains a popular member of the political class here, and setting up an advisory council in the name of Mistress Chosen would go a long way to kindle support amongst the religious folk of Silvercrest, and I dare say amongst aspiring soldiers in the KMF as well. So I ask once more, what are their names?
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah. It's clear that Casters a Jet regards the idea of a Council of the Seven as a political convenience, a way to keep an eye on his sister, if not a genuine way to protect the city.
Okay. Fine. I might have forgotten one, but maybe someone else can help me. It's Corazel, Frederick, Titter, Warkeck, Kalain. Am I one of them? I don't have a scar. No. Have I missed one that I know about?
It's not up to me. Keep track of what you know.
Well,
You're the best
you
note
have
taker.
a whole notebook of notes, but obviously it's
You're the best note taker.
I believe
Mhm.
from my notes that you have 6. However, everyone you named then 5 was 1, but I can't. I'm not going to help you. You know.
Okay. I mean, if when you talk to someone else, I might be able to go through my notes and find the other
Yeah.
person, but
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Could you just repeat what the third one was you said? I got
Oh yes, I know the one you've.
Frederick.
I know the one you've missed. Sorry. It's Valzax.
Oh yeah.
Balzac, of course.
So you have
Sorry.
6 of 7.
And I haven't discovered a 7th.
Asta may know the 7th.
So I only have 6 names here, Mia.
Hmm.
Corazel is insistent that there must be a 7th. Do you agree?
I do. I've dreamt it.
Then in order to enhance the tradition of Mistra and the credibility of your temple, I suggest you work on finding the 7th.
Thank you, Castor.
They will be given a chamber at Castle Broadgrove once the council is assembled. Corazel was quite particular about how it must look,
Oh, really?
as though she'd seen it in a dream. 7 seats, facing a throne, she said.
Hmm. The goblet at each seat.
Quite. Speaking of goblets, Gallon, are you going to clutch that wine all evening?
No, I was waiting for the proper time. You seem to have important discussions here.
Well, we've made the way through most of the business. Dartharis, will you grab a corkscrew from my office?
I have to say you piqued my interest a lot with the item you described to smoke. Would you be willing to tell me a bit more about it?
The family heirloom passed down from my grandfather.
Yeah, the
It
3
was,
threads is what really piqued my interest.
well, if you care to listen, you may be able to infer what those threats might be. My grandfather told me that it was that particular orb which allowed him to command the fealty of certain powerful creatures. I'm not proud of his methods, but he used to tell me in days of his youth, in the midst of the settlement wars, that he had a black dragon in the palm of his hand. And it was that item that enabled him to launch an attack against Lucian Broadgrove once my grandfather had presumed that his status and his power had become too much for him to wield. He did exploit his power over the dragon, and that's how we came to be in possession of the black dragon egg that sorely went missing sometime during the infernal siege. If the parent of that dragon egg still lives, then that item is the only thing that will stop it from burning Silvercrest to the ground. That's why it's so important.
So there were 3 creatures?
The orb is linked to 3. My grandfather only ever spoke of 1. However, I never dared studied it. It was an arcane item far beyond my understanding. My sole mission, once I'd inherited it from my grandfather, was to keep it safe, where I thought it was, until Thunder in the Morning infiltrated my office.
So, if you had it right now and the dragon arrived, you would know how to use it to control it?
As the chairman of Silvercrest, I'd give it my all.
How sure are you that it was Thunder that absconded with this orb?
My investigation has taken months, but from the various witnesses, I was seen leaving my office and entering Castle Broadgrove shortly before Lucian Broadgrove's head ended up leaving in your hands, Smoke.
And were you seen wielding the orb?
No. But the orb was in my office. And I am the only person who had access to my office. And it was not there in the aftermath. So either someone used the murder of Lucian Broadgrove as a convenient diversion, or they were committed by one and the same person.
I understand. I do not wish to cast doubt on your results of your investigation. I hope you understand I've obviously not been present for the past few months.
It's quite all right. Dartharis, you may hand over any notes that Smoking Mirror wishes to see about the investigation, and he is, of course, free to question any witnesses, as long as he doesn't set foot in Castle Broadgrove. He hands you a dossier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that.
Gallin, this is very nice wine.
Oh, I'm really glad you enjoy it.
I think at this point we should take a short intermission and commend the fact that we are all able to meet here today in Silvercrest under these circumstances. And remember those who are not so lucky. And he raises a glass.
I'll drink to that. It was a hard road, but we made it.
Gallin, my colleague here, Dartharis, has noticed you've been spending a lot of time with your gnomekin brethren at the docks.
Oh, Fisto.
Correct?
Yeah.
Fisto is a known criminal.
I mean, he's a very low level. We found him in the prison.
Yes, his rap sheet is longer than you are tall.
Well, it doesn't have to be that long then.
We entangled with him on a rescue mission. And yeah, is there any reason why you asking, or?
No, I merely think that I understand you're a long way from home, and there aren't many gnomes in Silvercrest. However, given the exploits of Yoston and the Clock Tower, gnomes remain severely unpopular in Silvercrest. And it does not serve one of the saviours of Silvercrest, who happens to be a gnome, and their public image to be seen hanging around the docks with people like Fisto Snickerblink. So I'm merely here to reach out to you as a diplomat and an advisor. Stay well clear of Fisto Snickerblink and the company he keeps.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it under advisement.
Finally, young Dragonsbane.
Chairman.
Or is it Lecheria?
I mean, yes, that was the name I was born to. Not the name I chose, but yeah, that's me.
You are Jacob Lecheria, son of Lord Edmund Lecheria.
Yes, he's my dad.
Dartharis, it is him. She then pulls a letter out of her coat that is embossed with a royal seal, and she flings it over to you.
I look at the seal.
It's a crest that you recognize.
Yeah. Hope never to see that sign again. I'll crack it and open the letter.
Would you like the other players to see it?
I will show it to them, so yeah, they can see it. But yeah,
Would you like me to read it as Edmund Lecheria?
yes, please.
Jacob, news of your feats in battle travels far, though you travel under another name. It would behoove you to remember that information was always my second most prized commodity. The passage of time bestows upon us all the wisdom of experience, and while your experiences have brought you valor and accomplishment, sadly it has brought me nothing but sorrow and regret. It seems that your exile has turned you into a formidable warrior, able to defend the Silver City from its enemies. I now ask that you return home, reclaim your birthright, and do the same for Last Hollow. It's time that you learned the truth about me and your mother, Lord Edmund Lecheria, Archduke of Last Hollow.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I told you I ran away from home. Yeah, Dad. It was part of the settlement accords. He took over Last Hollow, and our grandfather fought. Lucian knew my grandfather, and yeah. But my dad.
There
My
was
dad
this-
wanted a pampered little prince ready to take over for him when he passed. That was never me.
that why you left?
My mum, I've told you, my mum vanished. They wouldn't tell me anything of her. He hired this horrible woman, governess, to look after me and and teach me how to talk properly like a good boy should. Of course, nobody respects a rogue that talks properly, so I learnt to talk common like the rest of you, like the rest of people. Although I can speak nobly if required. Yes, I ran. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be his pampered prince. I wanted to see the world and explore the Isles and find my mum. And that wasn't an option. Every time I even asked about her, it was shot down.
Seems like he's willing to.
Yeah.
He knows something.
And I ran. When I left and lived on the streets, and then I was chased down and I had to leave, and Elf took me in, and I left people there, my fellow urchins, my fellow street kids. If Last Hollow is under attack, they're less for him, but more for the other kids. I need to go back. I want to go back. Don't think I'd ever think I'd say that, but yeah, I think I need to do this. Guys, I can't ask you to come across to it's the other side of the Isles. It's literally as far away from here as we can go. But if the other orphans are in trouble, if Dad has the answers about what actually happened to my mother, why she vanished, why all I have of her is this pendant, You taught me more about my mother than I'd ever known, Galen, when you looked at the pendant for me. If I can find some answers, I need to go home.
Well, we have a deal, don't we?
Yes.
So
I help you with yours, you help me with mine.
You don't have to ask.
Mia, you help
Yes,
me?
of course.
And Smoke, Shield Brother, it's the other side of the Isles, as far away from your clan as you'll ever go.
You have no need to ask, Jacob. A place of nobility and one of honor are not always two and the same. I'm glad you made the latter choice, friend. I'll follow you.
Then, yeah, I think we need to make plans. Castor, I know we're here and we've been defending the city for months now, and I'm proud member of the city with my shield and the medallion, but I think I need to go home.
You weren't born here, Jacob, and thus it makes us all the more fortunate that you found yourselves defending Silvercrest walls in its time of need. You will always be welcome in the Silver City. I merely lament that you'll have to take a leave of absence so that Silvercrest may labour on its journey to recovery without you.
Maybe I could take a missive, something. If you write in your person as chairperson, I'm sure if your defenders of Silvercrest were to go with some letter from one leader to another, we could perhaps set up some form of pact, some form of deal between the two cities, and maybe spread the influence of both.
My diplomatic engagements are currently preoccupied with the local Tabaxi clan. However, your advisement that we adjust to a new era of cooperation does not go unheard. I can provide you with a ship that flies Silvercrest banner, and I can send gifts and resources by way of a trade mission. However, that will take some time to arrange.
That is fine. If Last Hollow is in trouble, then any aid you could send would be greatly appreciated, and I'm sure returned in kind.
Can I ask, with this letter that clearly traveled here from Last Hollow, did any other news hit you about their situation, about what the letter might be referring to, what type of danger, or...
No, however, that's not unusual when communique are exchanged between heads of state. Any details about enemy encampments, tactics may only serve to undermine any city defense if their information was to fall into the wrong hands.
Okay.
So, I think we need to prepare for this journey, and...
I don't know how long it'll take. It took me years to travel the island with Hal.
An adequate seafaring vessel may make the journey in a month or so by taking a route directly.
Yeah.
The adventure. Hey, I'm into that.
Well, that's the fastest way. It's certainly faster than walking.
Yes,
So-
over land would not be advisable,
Yeah.
even with a tabaxi escort.
So we look into the orb whilst you make preparations for... What were you thinking? Like, is it a next day that you can have it, or is it a week? What we...
It would take a week to prepare a vessel and the trade goods.
Well, we can look into...
A 10-day. Sorry.
I'm sure we can
week.
investigate the orb in that time, Smoke.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Storm Cradle's just around the corner, so we could
Yes.
check.
Yeah, we could also. Yeah, I think we should. I think before we leave, as well, before we leave to travel to Lastolo, I'd like to briefly travel back to Inelion. Just briefly, to see, to pay our respects to Karnak.
Oh, is
You
it
wish
on
to
the
travel
way?
to Inelion?
Oh, there's a teleport circle, I believe. Is there not? Did we not get hit by a teleport circle, Mia?
No, she cast.
We might
No,
have.
she
Yeah.
cast one.
I
Yeah.
think you cast a spell that.
We might have done, but it doesn't mean that there's one there for us
Alright.
to get to.
Potentially good.
Wasn't there a ship that came in here that we know nothing about from Inelian?
There was.
Indeed. My sister and I met with the Montanes later on that fateful night. They have made paltry contribution to Silvercrest's recovery.
They were badly affected by events that happened on Island. I know Nissa and Tisha, Nain and Tisha were here. Did Tisha attend? Was she on the ship?
Yes, they brought their daughter. I believe she stayed. She took quite a shine to young Frederick, and I believe she was staying at the Spire of Silver Candles.
Oh, so I would have probably seen her there.
You know, you could walk in. You could, with the amount of books you read, Galen. She could have walked past you 50 times and you wouldn't notice.
That is fair.
Well, yeah. If we can't, we can't. But yes, I think we should look for this orb for you, chairwoman, and while you prepare the ship. That's what we should do.
Did you just call him chairwoman?
Oh, I told him chairman, chairperson, chairwoman, chairman.
I'm a man. My pronouns are he, him. My title is chairman.
Chairman. Sorry. I never know. Should I always address by your title? Or are we amongst friends here?
Chairman's a jet will suffice. Draco.
Very well. Yes, well, I think we should make some plans then. Thank you. And it is good to see you running the city. Openly rather than in the shadows.
In all honesty, the recovery effort hasn't, changed much since I took office. Thankfully, Dartharus is here to help me wield the diplomatic missions a lot more carefully than perhaps I was able to in the past. And he says this while rubbing a scar on his face. Be mindful if you are to travel across these isles. There are still many lawless lands and unconsolidated areas where rule is contested and territories are divided. I would say that the Cerulean Central Commission are the only organization outside Silvercrest you can trust currently. Other than the Tabaxi clans, of course. And he kind of gives a half sarcastic head nod in Smoke's direction.
Yeah, I don't rise to it. Sure.
You can choose. You are almost equidistant. We're in the middle eastern point of the Cerulean Isles, and you need to get to the middle western. You can travel north and go around the frigid waters of the Blight Shore, or you can go south around Grangela Bay and across the Crystal Sea.
Grangela Bay?
Indeed.
That sounds like where I'm from.
Well, the Isles are home to immigrants from all places. maybe someone who also hails from your hometown set foot on the Isles when places were being named and divided up. Will have been a long time ago.
That way, we may find an answer for you, and we can stop on our way. I know if we go south and round, we'll go not far from Aranthalor, I believe.
I think I would choose warm over cold, if it is any different.
Yeah,
Well,
and south it is.
I'll charter a vessel. You have a 10-day. Smoke, let's resolve our dealings before you leave.
Of course, with haste.
And with that, Caster's Jet stands up, downs the remaining of his wine goblet, slams it down. Well, much progress has been made this night. I thank you for joining me all so promptly. I'm taking my leave at Castle Broadgrove. Dartheris will see you at the Dockmaster's office in a 10-day. Farewell. He
Farewell.
puts his hood up. Goes towards the door, unlocks it, opens it, and then waits for you all to leave.
I'll shuffle out.
Right. Where have we all? I take it we've, other than Smoke, we've been staying basically in the castle.
Yeah, Smoke's not been in Silvercrest, so you would have
No.
all taken various residents. Like there would be a hostel on the docks if you were working that you would have stayed. Mir could have slept in the temple fairly often while the build was going on. Gallin,
With Dr. Longspell, maybe?
potentially at the Raven, more likely at the Greasy Turtle
Okay.
with Fisto.
Sounds like a good idea.
Where should we? Shall we go back to the temple? Those meeting rooms there are they not? We just go and make a
Yeah.
plan.
Oh, that reminds me. Mir, I have something for you.
Oh,
Follow me. We'll go and see Sunshine.
sunshine.
Is
A young
it
retainer of
evening
mine
already?
in training.
He sounds adorable.
He's not the sharpest, but he means well. He's holding
You
on
got
to
a
some.
sidekick, Smoke.
He's holding on to some of my items that I no longer have need for, and well, he should be taken back to the temple.
In accordance with the APA.
Indeed.
Very good.
Yes,
So where are you going?
the temple, I believe.
Yeah, with
Temple.
No.
a quick diversion to pick up Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So you go up the road to the Sleepy Cello, where a familiar tune is being sung from the rafters.
Still a top hit.
Still, after all this time, yes, people still sing the song of the chairwoman. She remains intensely popular, as do CGS, which is a fact most apparent when you enter to reacquaint yourselves with Sunshine at night, and everybody raises a glass as soon as you walk in. Way! CGS! Everyone, a round of drinks for CGS.
No, we can't stay.
No, we insist, absolutely. Sit down, everybody. Mir's here, head of the KMF.
Well, we could stay for one.
Oh,
They insist.
okay, okay.
Oh, no. We're
One
getting
drink
out
won't
of
harm you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was his name? The barkeep at the Sleepy Cello. Sure, it began with a V. Where is it? Bear with me. Oh, I've only given you the. I need the other fucking notes. Bear with me. Yeah, there we go. It's Giano. That's his name. Giano strikes up his band and kind of rouses up the atmosphere to a fever pitch as you are all served with a fresh batch of newly imported Mythbrook IPA 2.0. We just got fresh barrels of this. It was out of production for a while. We don't know what happened, but apparently this is a new and improved recipe.
Oh, you're spoiling us.
On the house, please.
Oh.
Are you looking for your tabaxi friend, Smoking Mirror?
I am, as a matter of fact.
Haha. He's, quite the eager chap. He joined the bards, the band, who were singing a song as he came in. Said he wanted to sing a song of his people. I didn't know Tabaxis had a song of. Did they have a song?
Some of us do. Can I see him from here?
Yeah, you can see him being egged on by some human and half-elf bards. They're running through some chords with him, and they're like, you can kind of infer, they're like, are you sure you want to do this? And he looks like a bit overexcited.
I'll try and catch his attention and wave him over.
Make a charisma check, see if he notices you.
Oh, it's just a straight roll.
No, he's a little too preoccupied. He's literally got a lute thrust into his hands. It's a young tabaxi with mostly dark fur, but he's got like a kind of a orangey brown patch over his eye. He, as far as you know, Smoke isn't a bard at all. So yeah, he's going to make a performance check at disadvantage as you guys all sit around. So just
This
check
is
on
going
that.
to go well.
It's a -1 as well on this. Oh, good.
0.
Like howling cat.
Before you can get to him, he takes the stage, and it becomes then too awkward to try and bring him off. And yeah, it is like someone is strangling a cat. He starts wailing some ill-conceived ballad about some long-lost love from a different clan. It's truly pathetic and painful in equal measure. You even think you spy the cracking of glass as he attempts to hit an audacious high note. And he is promptly booed off stage. Things get thrown at him. The atmosphere turns from celebratory to sour in all but 2 verses. So yeah, he's embarrassed you big time, Smoke.
That is music back in the clans.
He is not one of our song singers, nor tale tellers. He's supposed to be a student.
He walks in. He's like, "Oh, tough crowd, eh? I thought I did pretty good."
Yeah, you thought you could use a little more wisdom in you. Now, where are my things?
Oh yes, the items. I think I left them over with the band. I'll be right back.
How
how many items did you leave with him, Smoke?
I think we said 5, right?
5, okay. Roll me a d4.
Oh, no.
God.
Oh my
No.
god.
2.
2 are missing.
Shit.
Shit.
So 1, 2, 3. That's it, right?
I'll just stare at him.
Make an intimidation check at advantage. Oh, it wasn't 3, was it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's my first time in a human city. I got a bit carried away. I'll find them. I'm sorry. I'll bring them. I'll bring them to the temple in the morning. Take these 3. I've never made clan leader at this rate. And he
Clan
wanders
leader.
back.
God, this kid.
John, this is absolutely perfect. You before when you said like, "Can I have a retainer?" You were saying like, "Here, Dan. Here, there's the bullet. There's the gun."
I didn't even think about it.
Shoot me.
Oh, perfect.
Brilliant. I love
Held
it.
on their own sword.
If you give me things, I'll play with them.
Well, he seems nice, Smoke.
I gave myself a challenge when I chose him to be a retainer and look after my things.
Is this some sort of like a Big Brother, abandoned brother program in the Tabaxi clan? Like you took on somebody who, needs guidance or...
Oh, he needs guidance. But that wasn't my intention. We're supposed to be teaching people to integrate. I thought I should carry some along into the city and perhaps do a better job than I'm doing of teaching them how they should act.
Well, whatever you've taught him, try teaching him the opposite, maybe?
Yeah, good advice, Jacob.
Oh, anyway, it's good to see you. Probably.
Jacob, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception.
Okay. As you are lamenting the misadventures of this young Tabaxi whelp, Jacob, you notice across the bar a familiar tiefling girl with a hood up, ordering just a glass of water at the bar. She seems to be looking around for someone, and she looks a little bit lost.
Wait. Over the bar.
Is that Libby?
Yeah, is that Libby? Is it Libby?
Yeah, it looks like her.
Oh, Libby. And I'll stand up and wave, and if she doesn't see me, I'll go over and say hi.
Yeah, she doesn't see you.
I'll go over and tap her on the shoulder.
She nearly jumps out of her skin. And she's it's at this point that you start communicating in Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that you can't communicate long-winded conversations in Thieves' Cant. It's mainly just the gist. And the gist that you get from this particular collection of symbols that she makes with her hands is she's asking you, do you have the rest of those ingredients?
I don't know, do I?
Yes, you do.
Yes. Yes, they're in my pack. I'll tell that. Point in the pack.
Okay.
Is everything okay? You're rather late to be ingredient hunting.
She then gestures that Dr. Lone's spell is ready to conduct his ritual involving Tara.
Oh, yeah, I'll come. I'll tell the others they'll want to be there for this. They knew Tara. It's a hole that may be filled tonight if this works. Come over to the table with us. We'll tell them and then we'll come with you.
He agrees.
Guys, Libby has been looking for me. I've been helping Dr. Lonespell collect ingredients. He's ready to try that ritual he was designing. You know, the one to potentially bring Tara back. He's finished it. I've got the final ingredients with me. Shall we go?
Now?
I think. I mean, it's nighttime. Libby, these rituals better at night, yes?
She nods in the affirmative.
Yeah, sure.
If before we leave, we can see Tara and thank her in person for what she did and see her happily reunited with her father, then we should.
Libby gives you
Of
2 thumbs
course.
up.
Yeah. And maybe while we're doing this, Smoke, your sidekick might find some of the items he's lost.
It's interesting the way you communicate. You have a non-verbal way of speaking.
Yeah, it's something you learn when you're a thief. There's ways of speaking with hand gestures and saying one word and meaning another. There are differences in different areas and different towns, but then there's also like stuff that can be understood everywhere across the Isles. And obviously Libby can't speak, so she's learnt this, and it's useful.
She elbows you when you say she can't speak. And she says in Thieves' Cant that she can speak, but she chooses not to.
Oh. I won't pass that on to them.
You see this tiefling girl just scowl at Jacob.
Well,
Ooh.
it's... Yeah. Thieves' Cant's very useful. It's something we can all do. You can have a conversation across a crowded room.
It's commendable. Maybe you can teach me sometime.
Yeah, I can certainly try. We could converse across a battlefield with some of it.
Libby rolled her eyes, and she just...
Okay, Libby wants to go. Let's... You all ready? Finish his drink? Say this myth book is great. Libby, you tried it?
She, holds her nose and shakes her head.
Not for you, then.
It's refreshing.
Yeah. Right, I'm ready. I've got my stuff. Let's go and see Dr. Lonespell.
All right. Would you mind if we just took 5 minutes?
No, I'm happy to take 5 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I will be back. Bear with me.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to go on that bit and find out a bit more. His father sounds like a fucking asshole. Oh shit. Yeah, but he didn't really talk about his dad. Holy shit. It's cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's like we were saying last time, we haven't really had a proper dig into Jacob's personal arc. And it takes us elsewhere in the Isles, which is cool. Is that but kind of like Elvish? Like that's he would speak like proper Elven. Oh right, okay. Mm-hmm. It's so cool that like our characters have all got like so much more weight behind them now. Like everyone's like a celebrated hero, and like we can, you know, like people defer to us and stuff. Like, yeah. I remember like way back when in the first session when we were all just drinking in the tavern, bunch of fucking idiots, and we got tangled up in a low-level like criminal sort of conspiracy. Smoke was running up the walls and jumping on the roofs. Yeah. Now he's in golden armor. It won't take me out of the call if I click that one. Yeah, nice. Did you save the old one as well? See, I don't really know that arc. I mean, I know a little bit about him. Like, obviously, you get an idea just from the fucking memes, don't you? But yeah, Percival DeRollo was his full title. Some ridiculous. Just gonna go get a drink.
This is going to be theatre of the mind. I've toyed with doing an encounter for this, but it actually would take away from the kind of atmosphere that I want to create, I think.
Okay.
So you make your way out of the Sleepy Cello and towards the Black Raven. This kind of medicinal surgeon's headquarters, arcane research, kind of mishmash of uses. This building that Zethelin Spell has been gifted by the chairman is barely changed from its rustic field hospital look of the settlement wars. Seemingly, Lone Spell is a man of much more kind of practical sensibilities than artistic ones. Can you all just make a perception check as you approach?
$15 again.
Smoke and Mia, you would notice well, not to Smoke, it would be familiar to Mia. She would notice a lady coming the opposite direction away from the Black Raven under cover of a cloak, but not concealing some fine jewellery and arcane equipment. No, that would be a very obvious dwarf. This is a tall half-elf type creature.
And I know them.
Yeah, with that roll, it's Kalain.
Ah, okay. She, he, they?
She?
She?
Yeah, she seemingly is trying not to be seen. You've seen her, though.
Okay.
And so is Smoke, even though Smoke doesn't really know who she is.
Strange that one tries to cloak herself. She's not doing the best job. You recognize her?
Yeah, that's Kalain. And I'll just clear my throat without calling to her and see if she looks up.
She looks surprised. Oh, Mia. It's late.
Kalain?
And she blushes
It is.
somewhat. What did you say, sorry?
Interrupted you on the... I just said it is late and was going to ask if we were interrupting her coming back from somewhere.
Oh, and she blushes. Not at all. I've just had a appointment with Dr. Lone Spell. Just a minor ailment, that's all.
Very late for an appointment.
Yes, no, well, obviously he's a very talented man. He's very busy. He has an important ritual or something to carry out. But yeah, that's it.
Well, we're going to see him now. Shall I pass on your regards again?
Oh, well, no, better not. A lady doesn't want seen too keen.
Quite.
Good evening.
Sweet dreams.
She puts her hood back up and power walks down the street, and you hear the clack of her heels against the cold cobblestone road.
A pairing I didn't anticipate.
Wow. Stranger things have happened.
That's true. See if he blushes as much as she does.
Well, sure, we could find a way to bring her up in conversation. Maybe talk about your new temple and how gifted the designer was.
He might have other things on his mind.
Yes. Maybe should think about what's about to happen. Think how long it's been since Tara was among us.
Mhm.
It doesn't take you
I
long
don't
to
know if
get
I
to
ever.
the Black Raven.
Right. Galen, you going first, or shall?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go in.
Tara looks at you, Jacob, and goes first. Like, of course, I would go first, as if to say, and then storms
enough.
in.
Well,
She walks in, clutching the ingredients that Jacob gave to her, and walks up to Dr. Lonespell, who is stood in the corner of the Black Raven at what used to be the bar, and there is a piece of sheet music on a stand, and a violin on the bar, and he looks kind of mournful and edgy, and he doesn't notice you come in. He seems deep in thought.
clear my throat.
Oh, my friends, it's good to see you.
Yeah. We're told that you finished your preparations. You just needed the final ingredients Libby found us in the tavern. Is it ready? Is it time?
Indeed, it would have been time earlier, but I noticed a few days ago that someone had been tampering with my preparations. That's why I sent out Libby again, and why I made the request for some supplementary ingredients, which you were kind to deliver for me, Jacob.
Well, it's to help Tara in the long run, so of course I was happy to get them.
Thank you. And he approaches a vial that's spoiled and kind of blemished, and he corks it, and I suggest you hold your breath for this one. And he just pours this particular poison type smelling awful thing down the drain, corks it. It will take a few minutes to prepare another vial. I wanted you all to be here to witness the fruits of all of our labours. Indeed, the fact that I'm able to attempt this ritual at all is only due in part to your efforts collectively in defending the city, and Galen's generosity for bestowing the Codex Mortise onto me to enable me to further my preparations.
You said that someone.
Hmm?
You said that someone had tampered with your preparations. What? Who? Do you know who it was and what they did?
I have my suspicions, but I'm pleased to say that they were not able to destroy my work, merely delay it.
Why would somebody want to stop it?
I have no idea. I'm most disappointed.
Understandable.
You said you were able to stop them in time. Did you apprehend them?
No. I merely observed an abnormality in the potion that I did not implement. And the only way that it could have been implemented is if someone who had access to the Black Raven, or I'd been working closely with over the past few months, had tampered with it.
I understand.
What's this potion for?
It's a safety measure. I'll explain in good time. Please take a seat. Libby will see to any needs that you have. If you could also light those candles in the order that we discussed. Liberation. And she kind of nods and kind of ushers you to what is presumably like a viewing area, like just some seats arranged together before this. You can see like candlesticks, lines of salt, burning incense of various colours and smells, all carefully arranged and deliberately placed, with in the middle being Tara's lantern, which glows faintly with a bluish hue.
I'd like to get my out of my pack one of the little bird that Jacob carried. He gave one to Lone Spot, but then he made a replacement for himself of the one he made for Tara, and he carries it. And he's just gonna hold it while this happens, like concentrating on.
As you take out your piece of carpentry, you notice the original, which is on a plinth in proximity to the lantern.
Just gonna hold it and think of Tara while this is going on.
You also see the Codex Mortise on a reading table, like a lectern, open at a particular page, with a candle, a black candle, burning next to it with an ominous green flame.
Harry.
Is this going to be taxing for you, the ritual?
He's got his sleeves rolled up and he's currently grinding some foxgloves with a mortar and pestle. I'm confident, given the amount of study that I've dedicated to this ritual, that I can pull it off. I'm just concerned that the end result may be permanently debilitating to me, or worse.
Worse? How?
Yes, when Galen gave me the Codex Mortis, it was through a promise. A promise that he took seriously and was reluctant to enter into without knowing more about me and what my intentions were. And I respect that. He was careful. Almost as careful as me. I've lost my train of thought.
Careful, being careful. It's the
No, that's-
consequences of the ritual going wrong.
Oh yeah. So, if the ritual has a negative consequence, then it will be my own personal sacrifice made so that Tara may live. Jacob, you were the closest to Tara, well, before she died. And I would pass on to you responsibility for her care while she remains in her younger years. And if that were all that I asked, I would be happy to ask it. Yet I do have something much more grave to ask of you.
I will gladly make sure that Tara is looked after should the worst happen. But yeah, if you must ask for something else, ask.
How good an archer are you?
I'm a better than fair archer. I can make the shot when it counts.
How confident could you be of executing an unarmored target within a 30-foot range
Quite confident, very confident.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's a piss easy shot.
Yeah, and I've got advantage on it and +9.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
if the ritual were to result in a change in me, or at some point I was seeming to be out of control, then it may be that who I am may not be who I become. The goodness in my heart burns only for Tara. And if Tara is to come back into this world, the risk of this ritual is that the goodness in my heart will then be extinguished. It will fuel her essence, but it will drain me of mine. I've taken every possible step to avoid this, but it is a kind of magic the likes of which is never practiced by anyone less than a demigod.
Very well. I will, if it comes to this, and you are not yourself and you are a risk, a danger, then I will do it, although it will pain me to do so. After
You
you
have my
did so much
respect.
good.
He then takes a vial of clear water, one of the ingredients he gave him, sought from a particular source, and then he tips some very dark and foul-smelling soil into the foxglove mixture. As he tips this particular water onto this dirt foxglove mist, you see green fire come out of the mortar bowl, and it gives off this foul-smelling odor, and he kind of looks away as it burns brightly for just less than a second. He then takes kind of a powder, sprinkles it over the top, and distills the mixture into another vial. Then he takes the vial and a piece of bone, and he tests it. He just drips the vial onto a piece of bone, and you see the bone dissolve with a hiss. And he drops the piece of bone in. Yes, it's done. Jacob,
Yes.
hand me an arrow.
Reaches back over and I hand him one.
Do you have any silver arrows left?
I think I might have one left, yeah. Maybe a silver one if that's...
It's convenient, isn't it?
That is. Did we sort out Smoke giving you some? Oh, actually, he's not actually had chance to do it RP wise. So, but he does have some.
Yeah.
Maybe, in
I'm
fact,
with
maybe upon hearing that, he'll hand you half the.
So, no. I had one left from before and now I've got some more. So yes, I've got silver arrows.
Thank you. And he inspects it, and he runs his finger along the tip, observing how sharp it is. And then he dips the silver arrow into this large vial. You hear a similar hiss, but the silver doesn't dissolve. And he takes the arrow out. You have gloves, sir.
I always wear them.
And he hands you the arrow.
And I'll take a position in the corner of the room, away from him so he can do his ritual, but so I've got a clear shot on him. I will put it to my bow just in case.
Time has come. He crosses the boundary created by the salt on the floor. And while he stood in this kind of sigil, circular, marked out space, it says, I implore you, you may see some troubling sights as I call upon the power of the fuge plane, from which I means to extract Tara's soul from under the nose of Kelemvor, the god of death. For it's in the court of souls that Tara has languished, trapped with this lantern, her only means of communicating from the other side. It seems the Baron's enchanting of this lantern was a small mercy, and I've been able to use it to locate Tara's soul on that plane of existence. A boon perhaps he did not anticipate. For I have learnt in my studies of the Codex Mortis just how small-minded a man he was. Petty. Jealous. He puts the lantern in front of him, with the Codex Mortis to the left. Would anyone like to say a few words before we begin?
I probably should and could.
Then with Mistress Blessing, you may speak.
Yeah, just I'd ask that Mr. watch over us. Whether she approves of this or no, to watch over us and protect us. To bring back Tara and to protect her just as she protected us so many times.
I missed that last bit, Kirsty, sorry.
It was about that Mr. will protect Tara just as Tara protected us many times. And yeah, I think that was it.
Make a religion check.
22.
As you finish your prayer, the green flame candle flickers purple just for a second and goes back to green. Would anyone else like to say anything?
Smoke just sort of kneels down in a meditation position, doesn't say anything out of respect, just very somber.
Gallin.
You've sacrificed a lot, and are willing to sacrifice even more. I see this love of the parent and only imagine how it would be to know my own. But Tara deserves this chance like nobody else. And I just really hope it works for you. I'm here with you like I've been from the moment I gave you the book.
Just make a charisma check for me, Gallin. You speak with a kindness and genuineness that has guided most of your actions over the past few months. I will not speak of my discoveries in the past few days, but I hope in time the truth will come out. I trust you, Galen. Don't betray that trust. Let us begin. And he digs his hand into a bag of soil and sprinkles it around himself and the lantern and the book. Tara, speak to me, my love. Speak to me. And he puts his hand out, and his eyes glow green. And the lantern begins to glow green. And from all around you, you hear the echoed voice. Father, Father, Father. Are you there? I'm here. And with any luck, my love, you'll be here soon too. With that, you hear the rolling sound of thunder in the night sky. And a gentle rain begins to batter the cobblestones outside. He then begins to speak in a language none of you understand. It's ancient. It requires a contortion of his jaw and his vocal cords that looks painful. But he gets through it. As he reads and he speaks, the pages of the Codex Mortise begin to turn one after the other, and ever more quickly. As a flash of lightning lights up the room, the rain begins to pelt down harder. He then brings up his left hand and he snaps his fingers as a green spark jumps from the candle into his hand. And with his eyes glowing green and this green fire in his hand, he drops his hand towards the ground, and the fire drops off like burning ethanol onto the floor, and it catches light against the salt, which bursts into a green wall of fire that builds up slowly and gets more and more quickly as it draws out and crosses over him in a star and runic symbol combination that now bathes the entire room in green light. He stops speaking for a moment and he says to himself, "It's working." Tara, the next phase begins now. Do it, my love. And Tara rushes out from the side. And she has a collection of vials, all deliberately labeled. And she walks to particular points that seem to be telegraphed on the decorations on the floor, and she smashes these vials. With each smash, the room begins to glow darker. One smash, the darkness closes in. Another smash, the darkness closes further. Jacob, just make a perception check, see if you can hold the target between your sights.
$26.
Darkness isn't a problem for you.
No.
She walks around each of you, and you move and shift to get out of her way as she makes a beeline for these particularly well-practiced points in the room. And with the last smash, all of the lights go out. The room's bathed in darkness. Do you hear this guttural language speak out from the void? You hear this chanting, this Uma Tinsushi Kastanishu. And then another green light opens up behind Lone Spell, illuminating him from the back. You can just see half of his face bathed in green light. And the green light traces a circle behind him. Once the circle gets to his other shoulder and both sides of his face are illuminated, you can then see behind him. Behind him is a grey wasteland. Curiously, the storm seems to be reflected in that plane. The lightning outside matches the strike and the thunder inside. The rain appears on both sides of the portal. Each of you make a perception check. Galen, your instruction with that check is too difficult to complete. You can't perceive a point by which to tell it to go. Jacob.
Yeah.
You're the only one that still perceives reality as it is. You keep your feet grounded and you keep your eyes trained on Lone Spell's heart, and you keep your bow drawn. Everybody else with that perception check, for all intents and purposes, you are now stood on the Fuge plane, the plane of lost souls. Each of you hears eternal screams from souls trapped on this plane for an eternity. You see wispy visages of ghosts and ghasts and spectres and shadows, all competing with each other to make themselves heard by you. Smoke, Jacob, and Galen, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Me? Okay.
No, sorry. Smoke,
Me.
Mir, and Galen, sorry.
Oof.
Galen and Smoke, you are frightened. Mir, your faith holds you steadfast against this terrifying image as you look and concentrate on the matter at hand. You see Lone Spell stood there before you, speaking this language, eyes glowing green. He picks up the lantern. The lantern begins to glow again. And Tara's voice no longer rings around disembodied, but you see a little green light, maybe 200 feet away. And this green light dances and travels on the wind, seemingly heading towards Lone Spell. A soul that he has identified from across the plains and is now bringing it to him. The green light dancing seems to coalesce around the lantern and spin. As the spinning green light gets closer and closer to the lantern, you see Dr. Lonespell struggle to hold on. And then you all hear it. A booming voice out of the darkness. Who treads into my realm of death? And all of the screaming souls, spectres and shadows just whoosh, disappear. They get stretch and run and zoom and zap in every direction other than here. As the next lightning strikes from behind Dr. Lonespell, you see the impossibly tall, skull-laden figure cloaked in a grey robe with a staff made of spines. Kelemvor, the god of death. He begins to move towards Lonespell, who seems oblivious now to the presence of his daughter's captor. He's attempting to steal a soul from under the nose of the god of death. The green light gets quicker and quicker. It tries to get into the lantern, and it just seems something seems to be stopping it. Lonespell looks panicked. You see now he's dripping with sweat. His eyes are flickering green. It looks as if the spell's about to falter. Until he takes the lantern and turns around to face the god of death. It is I, Zeth Valanspear Lonespell. And I'm here to take back what is mine. And he smashes the lantern on the floor. And as he does it, it breaks into glass and brass that stops and freezes in midair. Lonespell then waves his hands using the somatic components of a spell. And as he crosses them over, each of the broken pieces of glass are bathed in that familiar green light. And then a connecting green light, like a laser, starts to spring between each floating piece, creating a cage-like structure, trapping what you presume to be Tara's soul in the middle of it. And as Lonespell reaches his arms out, he starts to struggle and he starts to push the edges of this barrier, this frozen lantern in time, together. And you see him struggling, and the lantern begins to reform slowly. I'd like just Mia and Jacob to make a perception check. Jacob with a crit. You can see that as Dr. Lonespell is pushing Tara's soul into this pocket plane of existence within the lantern, that Kelemvor, the god of death, is reaching over the top of him. And even though his hand is 50, 60 feet above Lonespell's head, you can see Kelemvor pulling Dr. Lonespell's soul out of his body in return. The more that Lonespell pushes Tara's soul in the lantern, the more his own slips away. you can see as the soul slips away, Lone Spell's body breaking. You can see his bones shatter, his fingers break, his jaw contort. He is in an amount of pain that you could never even conceive of.
Has he? What's not to just think that, but what's Lantern? How's Tara? What's Tara? Is Tara? Is it done? Is he still pushing it as his soul leaves his body, or
Yeah,
is it?
he's still pushing it. He's not giving up.
If Kalimvor demands a soul for a soul, I'm not going to argue with the god of death, so I will wait and I will hold until he finishes the spell. And then, if he's still in agony, if his body's in agony as he's dying, then I will fire after the spell completes.
Okay. You choose to wait and deny him the mercy of a quick death.
Wouldn't want to
He continues, and as the lantern gets closer together, the green fire starts to erupt inside and starts to spill out of the edges of this glass and laser kind of prison. The fire spills onto Lone Spell's skin, more potent and dangerous than before, and it begins to strip the skin off his bones. He screams as he continues in an almost skeletal form to push this soul into this container.
Does he scream? Or is it just agony scream?
It's just an agony scream.
Sorry, Tara. If this doesn't work, and I will loose, hoping that it's enough and that it won't take Tara as well.
You shoot him in the back?
Yeah, put him out of his misery.
As the arrow makes contact, there is a chain reaction. The poison coating the arrow seems to course through what veins Dr. Lone Spell had left, and the green fire that bathes his skin turns black. He lets out another scream as he drops to his knees, clutching the lantern. You can now see Lone Spell looking up, clutching the lantern, almost begging the god of death to let Tara go. And as he shouts, "Please!" he reaches out one last time to the god of death and then keels over his lantern as the portal to the fuge plane gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shrinks. Before going out completely. All of the candles in the room light back up as the horrifically scarred and broken body of Dr. Lone Spell lies clutching something in his arms, bent over, facing away from you.
I'm going to run over to the body.
As you run, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw. Yeah. What do you do when you approach him?
I want to see if he's holding Tara, so I'm just trying to get that, see what he's holding, see if it's, I don't know, a baby or...
You rush over to grab his shoulder, and as you do, some residual arcane energy jumps from his body to yours, and it blasts you back. You hit the wall 10 feet up almost against the ceiling before landing back prone in the corner.
You're right, Jacob. What
No,
was that?
something happened. Like it was pulling Tara's up. What's that?
Still alive?
Burn
Don't
spell.
know. I have a bad feeling about this.
The broken body of Dr. Zeph Learnspell stands up, even though his ankle, shin, knee, thigh, pelvis, spine is broken. His skin is burnt off its bones, and only this grey, wasted figure stands before you. He turns round, regarding you with two milky eyes, broken teeth, and the remains of a black cloak. His soul, now joined with Tara's, in a silver lantern around his neck. This evil cackle echoes around the entire room. Libby looks at you all and she drops everything. She's shaking with fear. Smoke, Gallon, you are also frightened.
Yeah, still.
Mm-hmm. What do you wish to do?
I attempt to draw my weapons, although I imagine that's difficult under this condition.
Yes, you reach for your sword and you end up unhilting it, and it drops to the ground.
Yeah, I probably sort of start putting words towards casting a spell, and the words just go over each other, and just like no magic comes out. It's like,
Where's
What is
Tara?
that?
What's happened?
Tara and I have been reunited. He and I reside in this phylactery.
he's a fucking lit.
She and I will reap our revenge on this world in the name of death. Starting with you. Each of you make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it's going well. Sorry, Kirsty, we're dead.
Mm-mm.
Who got the lowest one?
That would be me.
Alan.
This is the dice somehow always love to tell a story. He looks towards you, Gallin, and says, I knew it was you who tried to tamper with my poison. For that, you will die. Do you have less than 100 hit points, Gallin?
Yes.
Fuck.
You are dead.
Hello, word kill.
Sounds great.
And with that, the portal...
Can I counterspell?
Not while you're frightened, you can't.
Oh, okay.
With that, the portal to the Fuge plane opens back up behind him, and he just takes one singular step back before...
There's no time to attack him.
You're not frightened, so you can try something while he's disappearing.
I'm gonna try and shoot him as well.
Yeah. I'm going to try and hit him with a guiding bolt.
Sure.
I'll go first, me.
Hold on, let me just see who... sorry, Mir, even though you weren't frightened, your dexterity save was so bad that you probably wouldn't have the time. However, Jacobs, you would have the time. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit him with a shot from my bow.
Quickly draw another arrow.
20 to hit.
Doesn't hit. The arrow flies towards him, and as he steps back into this portal, the interplanar passageway that he seems to be observing just makes the arrow stop, and it kind of bends and contorts in this spectral wind that's rushing out of the portal. And as the portal closes, the arrow just ding ding hits the ground. And he's gone.
Diamonds? Does anyone have any diamonds?
Galen, wake up. This isn't time to be playing dead.
Galen. I'll rush over to him and try and... I would try and make a medicine check.
Yeah, make a medicine check.
I know, as a player, this is probably not relevant, but...
Mm-hmm. You can confirm he is cold.
I just look up towards Mir with like a fearful and hopeful look on my face.
I can do it, but I need diamonds. Can I see if Galen has any on him either?
I don't know if he does. Does he?
I don't think so, no.
No.
We need to take him to
You
Ruby.
can search him. Just make an investigation check.
Or
Yeah, you fumble around. You can't make head and tail of where Galen seems to keep all his stuff. For a gnome, he's got a lot of places to keep stuff.
Ruby. Let's take him to Ruby. Ruby, the jeweler. She might have a diamond.
I'll also just yell out towards Libby, a diamond, and I'll just leap into action trying to rummage through anything I see in this room that looks like it might have valuable components in it.
Join him in that.
Make an investigation check. You can smoke do it at advantage.
Okay. 16.
Okay. You find various alchemical components. A vial of midnight tears. But no diamond.
okay. How far is Ruby where Ruby lives now?
It's 45 minutes walk away without carrying a body.
So it's 45 minutes walk away.
Well,
Jacob.
a minute will have passed anyway, so I can't cast Revivify, but I still have Raise Dead prepared, which is doable up to 10 days.
Sorry, Kirsty, you went weird then again.
Sorry.
You still have Raise Dead prepared,
which can raise someone who's been dead for 10 days.
Oh, there's no rush then.
Yeah, we'll just...
Well, let's go. I know a fast way. We can get to Ruby's now.
I will lift Galen's body. Yeah.
I'll help.
I'm going to use my background feature to get us there quicker.
Which is?
It's called Urchin Feature, City Secrets. I'll put it in VTT. I can travel twice as fast as normal would allow, and with my companions.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 45 minutes normal time, given that Galen would usually slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're sprinting across the city carrying a dead body, because, yeah.
A contingent of the KMF go to stop you, and they see Mir, and they're like, Mom, is everything okay?
It's Galen. It's Galen. He's dead. We're taking him somewhere where I can. You don't have a diamond on you, do you? You don't know where a diamond might be.
Mom, I've never even seen a diamond. It's Sunday evening. The hearths are cold. The stores are closed. Surely your only chance is to take him before Mistra.
Well, I think I'll have to do that anyway, but I need a diamond to make that happen.
Ruby, we think
Making
Ruby
him
lives above a shop.
Maurice.
Yes, all the shops are closed. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday.
Then I will bang on the door until she opens it.
Okay. Then your quickest way is probably that way. The way the half elf is going. Go.
Prepare the temple. We'll be back. Yeah.
Mm.
Right, you are. And they go in the other direction to the temple.
Run. Jacob's taking you down side streets that you guys had never noticed before, and
Yeah. All of you make an athletics check. Apart from Gallin, obviously. Jacob's like critting the shit out of this tonight. Yeah.
all my luck.
You're running too fast.
Yeah, he's nimbly skipping over crates and alley wastage, darting between people to guide you and point you the best way. Smoke, you managed to keep a fairly decent pace, but Mir, I guess what you've just seen is not the type of divine intervention you hope to witness. It's weighing heavily on your mind as you see like flashes of spine-wielding, skull-laden gods on every dark corner.
Ah. Maybe I go down the wrong alleyway or something.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm helping to carry Gallon, aren't I?
I think Smoke's got Gallin. Like, he's
I'm
strong
carrying
enough.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Then yeah, maybe I would get lost.
I'm very light and got no armor like I had when I was a cleric, or
No more
Anything
shield,
like
right?
that.
Or anything.
It passed life.
Yeah.
no more shield.
Cleric and shield, armor and shield not going to help you against power word kill, I'm
No,
afraid.
no, it wouldn't.
What the fuck is that spell?
a nice level.
yeah.
Nice one.
It's just a deny.
It kills
They're not-
anything below 100 HP in one word. It is literally, he just says, die, and you're gone.
It's brutal.
It's fucked up.
Even if you allowed me to roll a counter spell, I'd have to roll like 20 something to
Yeah.
do it.
Oof.
I have one still in my ring from when I was a wizard, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a leftover.
You managed to get to the Ruby Rollmurray's jewellery shop. It is indeed closed. Boarded, like shutters down, doors locked. Jacob, you would be the first to arrive. Smoke would be 20 feet behind.
I'm banging on the door, loud as I can, shouting, Ruby, Ruby!
Make a performance check. See how loud you are.
There goes my luck.
Yeah. You bang it away and nobody can hear you, or no, nobody answers. Maybe she's out. No lights, no stirring, no noise.
Smoke, what do I do?
Having just, I don't know if Smoke did ever meet Ruby. I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
didn't.
No, maybe I can't remember.
But hearing that he was just yelling out Ruby, I will just also try to yell the name Ruby.
You can make a performance check yourself if you want.
bit
No
louder.
help is coming. Maybe 2 minutes later, Mir comes from like the other way.
Where the fuck did you go?
Went the shortest way. Where did you go?
I keep seeing things. Is she there?
She's not answering. We've banged on the door. We've shouted. She's not answering. I could get us in there, but
The spell will work just as well tomorrow as it will tonight.
will it?
Are you sure?
Yeah, it will. Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's the same spell that I cast for Warcap.
Still
As you sit despondent in your hopelessness, or stand there, 2 drunken dwarfs walk down the high street next to you. Did you hear that cat singing in the sleepy cello earlier? It was fucking outrageous. What business has a young lad like that done getting on stage and say it nearly made my eardrums bleed? I know. I'm never going back to the sleepy cello. I'm sticking to the Iron Bird. Then. Oh, sorry. Everything all right?
No. Have you seen Ruby?
Oh, female dwarf, red curly hair, a bit posh.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, I've never seen her. Sorry.
Look. Gallin, one of the CGS, is dead.
CGS?
Yeah.
You mean
us.
Warkex mates?
Yeah. Gallin, our wizard, he's just been killed by some thing, and we need Ruby. We want to bring him back. We need a diamond.
Oh, a diamond? Oh, well, there's been, like, political disputes about reopening the mines, and, it's been really difficult stocking up the jewelers. I'm not sure if there are many in Halfcast, if any at all. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah. I suppose,
I mean, we can ask around, but we're honestly not sure. I mean, I'll be honest, we're both a bit pissed.
I mean, yeah.
I'll just say 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold for a diamond that will suit the ritual. Mir, what kind of diamond does it need to be?
It needs to be worth at least 500 gold pieces.
You want 5,000 gold for a 500 gold diamond?
I don't care about the money. I care about my friend.
Yes.
If you find us a diamond, then
I'll wake all
CGS
the
will owe you.
podcast up for 5,000 gold. Let's go.
Yes.
Stop banging on doors.
And
need
that's
it.
exactly what they do. They're a bit pissed and they've been offered a shitload of money. They're going door to door, waking up dwarves.
Temple of Mystra. That's where we'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, the big flowery building.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, if that's where the 5,000 gold is, that's where I'll be. As soon as I get a diamond.
Well, we'll see you there then.
Brilliant.
Right. Let's
Who's
go.
who's gonna roll if they find it?
I mean, for 5,000 gold, that's a hell of an advantage.
Doesn't mean it's there.
Yeah. I mean, do you leave them to it, or do you assist them, or do you try something else? What are you doing?
We'll probably take Galen's body to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my thought is
even if it means doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can prepare it and give it the best odds of success. Like, plan for a change.
Okay. You go back to the Temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, with Galen's prone body in Smoke's arms. You are attended to by newly sworn in clerics of Mystra, following in Mir's footsteps, as they drop everything to try and assist you and make Galen's body comfortable and preserved. Oh, the hour is late, but the need is indeed great. Mia, please instruct us. What shall we do?
Oh, we need. He'll have his spell book. Oh, he doesn't. Roy doesn't have a spell book anymore, does he? I don't know that. He'll have a spell book on him, won't he?
I have a few.
Okay, like items that are important to him. I want them laid out around him. I need incense, and I need anything that was important to him. Where was he staying? Does anyone know?
I mean, I'd have
Do I
probably
know?
seen him down at the docks, wouldn't I?
Yeah, just make a history check, Jacob.
Not my skill. Not my skill. No.
You think he mentioned it once, but you can't be sure. You think it was a tavern on the docks, but with that
Tavern on
roll.
Docks. Caster said something earlier that he spent a lot of time with Fisto. Can't remember
Find
where.
Fisto. So I'll instruct them to find Fisto and ask to go into Galen's room and get anything that seems valuable or like of kind of personal.
I'll go to Galen's corpse and his amulet, his pendant that he was using as his focus, that his memento of his parents. He told me this was the only thing he had of his parents. If anything means anything to him, it's this.
Yeah. This is a great excuse to go through Galen's shit.
It is.
take out the my master plan manuscript right there from the back.
Okay. The items that Galen has on him, in terms of books, you find the Codex. This is easily the most impressive tome that he's got on him. When you've seen Galen wield it before, it's almost got like cogs and ticking machinery in the cover, but it's currently not moving. And you can't open it. There's another book on him, which is a hell of a lot scarier. It is leather bound, but seemingly drenched and etched in blood.
Maybe not that one.
No.
Why would he even have this?
Jacob and Smoke would recognize it.
Yeah. I thought he'd got rid of this.
Take someone out of the room. I'll pick it up and I'll hand it to one of the assistants.
Mia, shall we send for Frederick?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
ghastly, isn't it? Oh, it stinks.
Yeah, here, wrap it in a sack and hide it somewhere.
Oh, this is going in the cellar. What else does Galen have on him? We're all robbing Galen right now.
Just robbing him. So Codex, that Bloodbinder, some scrolls, Cubic Gate.
I would think that most of those scrolls are gone, if they're the ones that you got from the.
Yeah, there was. I think I had 2 or 3 of them. There's also ones I never used from the before, which
let's say there's
fly.
those particular scrolls. Let's say you've got 1 left because they helped you be successful. Let's just say that.
Sounds good.
He's also got his wibbly wobbly timey wimey bag.
Yeah, Chrono Satchel, which actually has the code. All the books, really, all the written stuff is in it, and plus the cubic gate.
I think if they reached into the bag and were deliberately looking for books, they'd be able to pull out the the binder and the codex, maybe some scrolls. Yeah. Would any of you think of the cubic gate? I'm not sure.
You probably know that I have it.
You
Yeah.
would know that he had it. Whether
Smoke
he
has been
fit in the
acutely
smoke.
aware of the cubic gate ever since we found it.
Okay. So you take that out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in
Gate
terms of
pain of-
sentimental value or anything like that, I'll take off my White Stag Citadel pin, and I'll say the pins, and I'll take one off him, and I'll arrange them near his head.
Take mine as well and put it next to it.
Just stab him.
Yeah.
And
All right. Lucas, I'm going to make you roll to see if they successfully find a diamond.
Oh God!
It's been going so well so far. So
It's true what they say. They're diamonds. Since the mine shut, there's been various political machinations, and getting it open has been difficult. That's where most diamonds will come from. However, it's been 3 months, so it's not inconceivable that a diamond would have found its way into the city another way.
sure.
Also, the lure of an exorbitant reward would make people more likely to look for it.
People are going to tear themselves apart. we just started a
Oh my
riot
God.
uptown.
Bring you like pieces of glass. Is this good?
I would say you also increase the likelihood that someone brings you a fake.
Yeah.
So,
now, would we know from Sam's laboratory and all the alchemist tools and things, there were writings and things, would we know that the way to test for a fake diamond is to see if it will cut glass or not?
no,
'Cause only a real diamond will cut glass.
no, you would not know any of that.
At
However,
best, would
anyone
maybe able to
proficient with a
check.
jewelry kit could be able to easily establish whether a diamond was real or fake. Anyone proficient with a jewelry kit?
I've got the jewelry
No.
kit, but I'm not proficient with it.
You can attempt to use it. You just can't add your proficiency bonus. However, that's if anything turns up. So,
Dan,
yeah. What?
I'm not. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if. Okay, I'm gonna ask this of everybody. Would we be okay to finish it right here?
Oh,
Hey.
I mean, we can. I don't necessarily want to go on too late.
I don't want to force anybody, and if like the majority says, yeah, let's keep playing, then I'll keep playing. But for me, I don't know. I've got some things to think about before this happens.
Whether you want Galen to come back or not.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to mull it over. Maybe
We
I don't
can
want to
find-
cut half an hour of your game. So like maybe I don't know. Maybe you can.
Can we just quickly roll up some dwarves and have a riot uptown over a diamond?
We could see if they find the
I
diamond.
mean, we can keep playing for another half an hour if you've got something done that you could tie us over. But not make
yes, I
this roll.
predicted the situation.
Not make this roll. Not make this roll. I mean, I don't know, some role play or whatever.
I know for some of the stuff that I asked about for the month, I rolled, but I don't know what happened.
Sorry, Kirsty, I've
Yeah,
got
you
none of that.
Completely went robotic there.
Try again.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, like earlier, so I told you what I wanted to do in the 3 months, and you got me to roll some stuff earlier, but I don't know what happened. Like, is it worth using, if you want to use this time to talk to people about what happened, or no?
It depends if you want to reveal what you were trying to do. I can tell you whether you were successful or not, but I was trying not
Well,
to.
I meant like you chat privately to people. Like we do end it here and then just.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It's just an idea. I'm like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I could
I'm
do that.
intrigued now.
I mean, it's only really you and Lucas who had major things that I haven't discussed in the session,
Oh, right. Okay.
or
Which mine can wait. It's fine. And I mean, the two of you can stay after if you want. I mean, sorry, I don't want to create a situation where I'm forcing you to anything. But I don't know. I just had this moment of like, I got some things to think about.
Yeah. You just have to promise you don't kick off if we ever do it ourselves.
No, I would never do that. I told Dan that I'm prepared for it, and there is a backup already, and it's just a few things I need to think about. It's a heavy thing. This thing I'm trying, and it's not something I ever tried, and Dan knows it's a minefield, and I don't know. Just have to think things through to see if that's what I still want to do.
Lucas, given the roles I asked you to make, and then the roles you made in game, do you understand why everything that happened?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No problem at all. It's not that. It's partially that because today has really shown me how difficult it's going to be going forward. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Just
doesn't mean it can't be fun.
It could be, maybe. This is what I have to think about. That's what I'm saying. If you guys are okay with it.
But yeah, but equally, if the other characters are like reluctant or suspicious, or they want to do some snooping before they decide to, it's up to them what they want to do. They are now in control. The only thing you have control of now, Lucas, is Galen's soul.
Yes.
And even then, that might not be entirely your own.
Also, doesn't the spell that you want to cast only work if the soul is willing?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big part
what
of
he
it.
just said, yeah.
And it won't necessarily work, like it didn't work for Walker.
Yeah, there's a role involved, right? And
yeah, it's using the ritual. God, it'll be like the 4th or 5th ritual we've done.
In a short succession.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's gonna haunt me, and you can choose not to tell me, obviously.
Sorry, what was that?
Dan, did Jacob do the right thing in shooting Lone Spell?
You did exactly what Lone Spell manipulated you into doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He wanted me to shoot him with the arrow.
To be a lich, you have to die.
Right.
Yeah, in a specific way with like a point. Oh, fuck. This motherfucker.
Right. Well, I guess we know the BB.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy to wait until next time.
Do you want to stay on, Kirsty? I'll tell you what
only if you know, but if you want to
I do know.
like sort it next time, that's fine.
No, yeah, I know.
Then yeah. Okay.
Anybody else want to stay on and ask any questions? You're more than welcome. Lucas, I respect you considering the gravity of the situation and taking some time to think. You can message me.
We'll probably exchange a few messages between now and next session. And
and I wanted to say, and I can say this in front of everybody, it's fine. But what happened to Galen now in this session was nothing to do with any reluctance of me to play ball with you in that plan. It was purely.
Yeah, I know there was some crucial roles that didn't work.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I get it. It's when everything you do is down to
chance.
that role, that chance.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yeah. And that's why it's fun.
That's why it's fun. Yeah. No, I get it. I'll
yeah.
About that.
Cliffhangers galore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, we'll just have a nice chill session, get back into it. I'm going to have a heart attack.